The Necklace, written by Guy Maupassant, and a lesson by Javier Alcocer. Good morning, students. It's great to see you all today. Before we delve into our lesson, I want to begin with a small activity. I'd like you each to think about your favorite character from a movie, TV show, or book. It could be any character that has left a lasting impression on you. Got one? Great. Now think about why this character is your favorite. What makes them interesting or memorable? Is it their personality, their growth, their changes, or any other characterization in the story? Their relationships with other characters, or perhaps even how they overcome obstacles or deal with challenges? These elements make a character compelling and memorable, and are what we're going to be exploring in our lesson today. We'll be immersing ourselves in a captivating story titled The Necklace, authored by Guy de Maupassant, a renowned French writer celebrated for his intricate characterizations and compelling plot development. The story is set in the late 19th century in Paris, a time of elegance and high society, but also a time of distinct class divisions. At the heart of our story is a woman named Mathilde Loisel, a character who undergoes significant transformations throughout the narrative. Character development, like what we'll see with Mathilde, is a critical component of storytelling. It's not only what makes the characters relatable and interesting, but also drives the story forward. As we read The Necklace today, I want you to pay close attention to Mathilde's character and how she evolves with the story progression. But before we delve into the story today, let's discuss what we mean by character development and why it's such an essential part in literature. Now, I'd like to read an excerpt from The Necklace to you. This excerpt captures the significant moment of Mathilde's character transformation. She suffered endlessly, feeling herself born for every delicacy and luxury. She suffered from the poverty of her dwelling, from the wrenched look of the walls, from the worn-out chairs, from the ugliness of the curtains, all those things which another woman of her rank would never even be conscious, tortured, and made her ugly. This excerpt is from an early part of the story, and it illustrates Mathilde's deep dissatisfaction with her life. She yearns for a lifestyle she doesn't have, a yearning which eventually leads her to borrow the necklace, setting in motion the events that lead her to her ultimate downfall. This is the key moment in understanding her character and the extent of her transformation by the end of the story. Now let's take a moment to delve deeper into what we've just read. Think about Mathilde Loisel, the central character of our story. Based on the excerpt, we've just read about what describes her. How would you describe her? And what are your initial impressions of the character? One student responded, "She seems really unhappy and ungrateful for what she has. She's always looking for more and isn't content with her life." These are great responses. I hear a lot of you pointing out her dissatisfaction with her life, her longing for luxuries and delicacies she does not have. These observations are quite insightful. You're right, Mathilde is indeed a complex character, filled with her discontent and dreams of a life she does not lead. But let's dig a bit deeper. What do you think these traits and desires tell us about her? What might these aspects of her character influence her decisions on the story? Another student responded, "I think her dissatisfaction might lead her to make bad decisions. She might take risks or get into trouble to get the life she wants." Fantastic points. It's true, her longing for a luxurious life does lead her to borrow the necklace, setting the chain of events into motion. Now I want you to think about the larger implications of her character traits. What do you think these traits will affect the life she goes through later on as her character develops throughout the story. How might they impact the overall plot or the themes of exploration? One student responded, her character might evolve in a way that reflects the themes of her story. Like maybe she learns a lesson about the value of being content with what you have or the dangers of being too materialistic. These are excellent insights. Indeed, Matilda's character and her desires to do significant influence on the course of the story. They add a depth of complexity to her character that resonates throughout the narrative. This depth and complexity is a fundamental aspect of the character development, which we will continue to explore as we delve further into the story. Great job, everyone. I'd like to provide a few examples of outside of the necklace. Character development is seen in all of literature and of all media. A few big examples of my own are Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, as he goes from a stubborn young boy to a very empathetic and helpful man. Also Darth Vader in Star Wars, which he goes through a whole cycle of neglecting and also manipulating to empathetic and caring. And same goes with Nebula. She was very vengeful and an angry person and went on to be empathetic, caring, and happy. Thank you all for your insightful responses. It's clear that you all have a deep understanding of Matilda's character and her motivations. Let's take a moment to unpack some of your insights. Firstly, many of you pointed out Matilda's dissatisfaction with her life. Indeed, she yearns for luxuries and delicacies. The trapping of a life of wealth that she does not possess, this sense of longing and discontentment is a critical aspect of her character. It underpins much of her actions and decisions throughout the story, and it's a driving force behind her character development. Her dissatisfaction, as some of you mentioned, could lead her to make unwise decisions. In fact, it's a discontent that leads her to borrow the necklace, thus setting in motion the series of events that make up the plot of our story. This decision, of a direct result of her yearning for a more opulent life, has a significant consequence, revealing a key theme of the story: the dangers of an unchecked ambition and materialism. Now let's consider the larger implications of her character traits. As some of you astutely pointed out, Matilda's character traits not only influence her development but also impact the overall plot and themes of the story. Her ambitions and dissatisfaction become a catalyst for the story's events, and her journey reflects the story's exploration of themes such as pitfalls and materialism, and the importance of contentment. In essence, Matilda's character development is intertwined with the story's progression and the thematic exploration. As she grows and changes in her responses and experiences, so does the narrative by evolving. And the themes of the story become more apparent. This dynamic interaction between character development, plot progression, and thematic exploration is a common feature in literature. As we continue our study of the necklace and other stories, I encourage you to keep an eye out for this interplay and consider how character development can drive and enhance a story's plot and themes. Does this explanation provide a clearer understanding of the importance of character development in literature, particularly in relation to our current study of the necklace? I'm open to any questions and further discussions on the topic. Great job, everyone. Remember, character development is key to the progression of thematic exploration of any story. Keep this in mind as we continue our study of literature. Thank you very much.